Prop the mic here. How's it going, Dave?
It's going great.
Had a little day off yesterday.
Yeah. I can't take credit for any of the picks yesterday. That was all you, man. But you did great.
I tried. We have, life gets in the way sometimes, but we're back and ready to rock today.
Loving that Shea Bridge hat.
You like that?
Yeah.
Getting ready for baseball season.
Yeah, exactly.
Excited about the Mets here.
All right. So you want to jump into the games tonight?
I'm super ready. Let's do it.
All right, we got 7 games. Let's just counting. First game, let's go into it. Hawks at the Wizards. Wizards are getting 4 at home. Total is 236.5. What do you like here?
What do I like here? All right. I think I like our man Kyle Kuzma in this game.
Okay.
I like him over 21.5 points. He's done it in 5 of 6 on a back-to-back and 5 of 7 overall. The reason I landed on this, movement shooters against Atlanta, 19 points per game going back to December. So this is a good spot for him here. Another one of his position designations is as a help defender. 21.2 points per game against Atlanta. Also going back to December, so pretty good. And that's right where his line is tonight. So I like that. The other one I like quite a bit is he's not injured, is he? Denny Avia. I'm just taking a look here.
I didn't see him.
They don't have a because they are on a back-to-back. That's why they don't have their injury report out yet. But his rebounds are popping across multiple categories. So definitely something I'm going to want to take a look at later when the lines come out.
Okay.
That's all I had on the Washington side. Do you have anything?
Not on the Washington side.
Okay.
What do you like on the Hawks?
So on the Hawks, couple matchups worth digging into here. Shot creators against Washington, averaging 26.8 points per game going back to December. I wanted to get a bigger, now that we have some more defined position categories. If you take a smaller sample size, sometimes you'll have like 0 players in that category. So you can't read a lot into it. So I went back a little bit, bumped the minutes up to 25. So you get a real sense. I feel like it's basically knocking off the first 2 months of the season and looking at the season since then. So I thought that was a good way to look at it. So Murray, DeJounte Murray, classified as a shot creator. His point line tonight is 19.5 points. I know he's teetering on the banned list, but
no, he's on it.
He's officially completely on it.
Yeah, but you can always come off of it. So
all right, let's hear. So I like the average from this position. His line's 19.5 points. He's done 5 of 8 overall, and his last 7 of 10 on the road. In a great spot for him here. So I like that. This other one was kind of sneaky here. So bigs / power forwards since December, mid-December, averaging 4.3 assists per game. Since the beginning of February, averaging 5.8 assists per game. So that's John Collins. John Collins to have 1 assist tonight is minus 140. He's done this in his last 7 of 10 on the road, and in a spot where this position has been averaging over 4 and over 5 over the last month. So I like that quite a bit. And then I found one little one on your man Clint Capella. Is that who you had?
Of course.
All right, I'll let you take it then.
No, you go.
I had his points.
Okay.
You had the rebounds?
Yeah, I debated though. I liked his points too. His rebounds were compelling because you like that.
Yeah.
10.5 rebounds was plus money, plus 100. And he's done this in 4 of his last 5 games. But I like that he had 15 rebounds earlier this season against Washington. Tell me why you like the points.
So I like the points. Two positions popping here since December. Anchor Biggs averaging 20.6 points per game. So it's Capella. His line tonight's only 11.5, which he's done in 7 of his last 10 road games. So that was pretty good. And then more recently, roll and cut Biggs since the beginning of February, averaging 13.3 points per game. Also averaging 10.7 rebounds per game. So that was also towards the top. So that's why I had two categories where the average was clearing this line by a mile, and I liked his recent success on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been playing well of late. So, okay, cool. Very nice.
All right.
Next we got the Blazers at the Celtics. Celtics are -10 at home. Robert Williams is out. Tatum's back. Total's 231.5. What do you like?
All right. What do I like here? I like for some reason I didn't see lines on Malcolm Brogdon yet.
No.
But his assists are a great place to look tonight. So going back to December, primary ball handlers, averaging 7 assists per game against Portland. And then since beginning of February, primary ball handlers averaging 7.2 assists per game against Portland. And if you look at another category, he's classified as is a combo guard, averaging 6 assists per game. So all very near the top, recent and a little bit further out. So let's look at Brogdon later when those lines come out. What I do have here is shot creators averaging 26.7 points per game since December, 29.6 points per game since the beginning of February. So I like Tatum here, over 28.5 points, -125. He's done this in 6 of his last 10 at home, and all 4 games that he's played on 2 days rest at home this season.
Yeah. And he's not coming off of an injury either, right? He just rested because of that overtime game. So yeah, I think he's in a good spot tonight. I liked his rebounds, which is crazy. His line is now 9.5 rebounds.
Is it really?
Yeah, wow. I remember when his rebound line used to be like 7.
Yeah.
It's gone up a lot, but listen to his last 6 games: 12, 13, 7, 11, 13, 11. Wow. So he's had 10 plus rebounds in 5 of the last 6 games, and this is a good matchup against the Blazers. So
wow, very nice. I did not realize that.
Yeah,
look at Tatum,
and his assist line too. His assist line used to be like 3.5 or 4.5. Now I think that's up to like 5.5. So
interesting.
He's really taken over.
All right, I got one more here. Since the beginning of February, mobile bigs averaging 4.8 assists per game. So that's Al Horford. His line's 2.5, -120. He's done this last 7 of 10 at home and 6 of 10 overall. And I mean, almost 5 assists per game from this position. It's great. And no Robert Williams. So probably, play a few more minutes.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stats you could play on Horford tonight. I think even his points are good at 9.5. He's done this in 6 of his last 8 games.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think the assists are pretty solid at 2.5, right?
Yeah, Biggs averaging 19.4 points per game. Anchor Biggs 20.6. So yeah, it's a good spot for him. Yeah.
Smart, I also liked, just 1.5 threes.
Okay.
He's done this in six straight games.
Okay.
I think he's just going to get plenty of opportunities in this game. So
yeah, all right, I like that.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, next we got the Cavs at the Heat.
What about Portland side?
Oh, you got some stuff on Portland. I just assumed you were.
I got one. Okay. This is sneaky too.
So
I know you were on him the other day, Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah.
So I landed on his rebounds for 2 reasons. So it's 3.5 rebounds. It's -130. He's done it in 4 of 7 games since he was traded to Portland. The reason I landed on this, though, he is classified as an athletic finisher, averaging, since the beginning of February, 8.2 rebounds per game against Portland. He's also classified as a wing/small forward since the beginning of February, averaging 7.3 rebounds per game against, against Boston. Sorry. So you get two spots, different categorizations, but still leading to Tybal here. So I like that quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and like I said the other day, his minutes are up big time. He's playing
Huge
30 plus minutes a game. So,
Yeah, for sure.
all right, cool.
All right. Now
All
we
right,
can move on.
now we can go. Cavs at the Heat. Heat are getting 2 points at home. Total is a low
Ugh.
215.5. I didn't like much on this game just because there's not going to be a ton of scoring. But
Yeah. I
I
ended
did have
up.
one
You have
one play, yeah,
which side?
on the Cavs side.
On the Cavs. Okay, I got one on the Miami side.
All right. What do you like on the matchup side first?
Matchups. So shot creators against Cleveland, averaging 27.5 points per game, going all the way back to December. So that put me on Jimmy. But Jimmy and Bam are both classified as shot creators. You have another good matchup, forward/small forwards, averaging 18.1 points per game. So that's Caleb Martin. So I didn't see lines on him, but definitely something to look at. And then, yeah, I think those are your main ones. The guy I ended up on was Butler, though. I like that the 27.5 points, a nice sample size too to get there. So his line's 21.5 minus 120. He's done it in the last 7 of 10. And when they played Cleveland on January 31st, he had 23 points.
Yeah, I was looking at him. He was at the Lakers game last night. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he went to celebrate Pau Gasol's
Gasol?
retirement, jersey retirement.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although he was like sitting up in a suite, not near the court, which I thought was weird. But
yeah. All right, what do you got?
yeah, I like. This is odd because I don't think it's a good matchup, but this guy's had good success against the Heat. I like Evan Mobley.
Okay.
His last 2 games against his point line is 15.5. So his last 2 games against Miami, he had 15, so missed it by half a point. And then his most recent game, he had 19. So, but he's also had decent success with rebounds. He had, in the game where he scored 15 points, he had 10 rebounds. In the game where he had 19 points, he had 7 rebounds, which made me think maybe his PR is the play. 24.5 is the line for his points and rebounds. He's done this in 8 of his last 10 games. And here are his last 5 games against Miami. 28, 14, 31, 25, and 26. So he's crossed this in 4 of the last 5 games against Miami. So, again, it's a tough play just given Miami's defense. But for some reason, Mobley seems to be have success against the Heat and has been hot of late. So,
yeah, I like it. I'm looking, looking at some other splits here. I see 1 day rest on the road. He's done this in 6 straight. Points, rebounds he hasn't, but the points and rebounds also 6 straight 1 day rest on the road. So, yeah, I think I could go with either there. Why is he so good against the Heat?
He's one of the more consistent players. If you look at his lines, like his points only vary by, he doesn't really score much less than 13 points in a game. His rebounds, he's generally at 8-9 rebounds or more a game. So he is also a good candidate, even though we've been steering clear of these, to kind of alt down the points to like 14 points and alt down the rebounds to 9 rebounds, something like that, or 8 rebounds. If you can get that, I think that's also a good play too.
Nice. One other I just wanted to call out on the Miami side to look at. Cleveland actually, when they're going up against secondary guys classified as secondary ball handlers, which on the Heat would be Oladipo and Gabe Vincent. Cleveland's actually giving up, I think, the second most points since the beginning of February to that position, 15.6. So that's also something maybe to look at later. Yeah.
All right,
let's do it.
We got the Mavs at the Pels. Pelicans are getting 1.5 at home. Totals 234. I just heard this morning that the Mavs are like bottom 3 defensive teams since trading for Kyrie. Bottom 3 or 4 in the league. So
wow,
they went from being like a elite defensive team to a really poor defensive team. So
yeah,
and that's why the total is 234. I also noticed the Pelicans are in 10th place, on the verge of not even making the playoffs. So that's sad. We had high hopes that they were going to win the West, and
They looked amazing.
just slipping away as Zion continues not to play.
just not play.
All right. Well, what do you like here?
All right. Like a few things here. I'm on Joval today. There's just all these matchups, all different categories for bigs, just popping against Dallas here. I think I like his rebounds the best. Big centers averaging 11.2 rebounds per game going back to December. Roll and cut bigs, 11 rebounds per game since the beginning of February. You got anchor bigs, 11 rebounds per game since the beginning of February. So I like that for him. It's plus 100. He had 13 against Dallas on February 2nd. So that's nice.
Larry Nance is out too, so that
recent
only helps.
Success. Yes, that will help for sure.
What was the line?
The line was 11.5. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't mind his points either. It's 14.5. I mean, anchor bigs since the beginning of February, averaging almost 19 points per game against Dallas. And the last 2 times he played Dallas, he had 16 and 25.
The 16 was on February 2nd, so it wasn't even that long ago. And they were a better defensive team at that point. So
yeah.
I like that. I like both of those.
Yeah, so those are pretty good. And then I think we got to go back to Ingram here. So against Dallas, shot creators since mid-December, averaging 26.3 points per game and 6.9 rebounds per game. So I think I like both of those for Ingram here. 25.5 points, minus 140. And then I think I also like his rebounds, 5.5 rebounds, and it's plus 125. I'm really playing the not a lot of like recent stuff to highlight here. It's more of a matchup play.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I was actually looking at the rebounds. The points scare me. I would love a 24.5. That just
he gets to 25 all the time.
Yeah, that 25.5 just screams
I know.
hook.
I know.
So yeah.
25 and 5 would be nice, I think. 25 points, nice. 5 rebounds, parlayed together. There we go.
Could be nice.
Yeah.
All right. And do you have anybody on the Mav side?
On the Mav side, no. Dwight Powell is playing. I might play him if he's not out, right? Oh no, they didn't put their. I don't think their lineups out yet. Yeah, not a ton of great matchups, but roll and cut bigs, averaging 15 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game. So that seems to be the bigs are the place that we can target New Orleans, but I got nothing official.
Yeah, looks like Christian Wood's starting too. You got Luka, Kyrie, Josh Green, Christian Wood, and Powell. Those are the starters tonight.
Interesting. All right.
I didn't have anybody on that side either. Yeah. I did like Joval though.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Bulls at the Nuggets. Nuggets are -8 at home. Totals 226.5. What do you like here?
All right. We can look at. I ended up landing on Jamal Murray again. For a couple reasons. I actually ended up on his. This is the one that I think this is what burned us the other night. I think he only finished with 1 rebound, but I like his rebounds. It's 3.5. It's -160. He's done it in his last 8 of 10 at home, last 7 of 10 overall, and he's done it in 6 straight games on 1-day rest at home. The reason I ended up here, primary ball handlers since the beginning of February, averaging 4.6 rebounds per game. Combo guard since the beginning of February, averaging 5 rebounds per game. So those are both his categories, and he seems to do better at home on the board. So we'll try to run that one back.
All right. You have anybody else on the Nuggets?
On the Nuggets, I do not know.
All right, I had 2. I had KCP over 4.5 RA. I think we've played that before. -136. 8 of his last 10. And his previous matchup against Chicago, he had 5. So
Okay.
it'll be close, but I think he'll get there.
What was the line again?
4.5 RA.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. That's
Nice
pretty
and low,
good. Yeah.
right?
He's a combo guard too, and that's also what I just brought up with Murray, averaging 5 rebounds per game.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
exactly. And I think his assists lately have been pretty good too. So
Nice. I like that one.
Michael Porter Jr. as well. It's been on fire.
Mm-hmm.
17.5 points, minus 115. I kind of wanted to play his threes because that's where he's doing all of his scoring, but the juice was a little high. But he had 31 last time they played Chicago, and his last 5 games he has 25, 5 in which he only played. I think that was against Memphis. He only played a 15, 16 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
29, 17, 26, and 20. So he's hit this in 3 of his last 5. One game he missed it by half a point. What do you think about Porter Jr.?
Were the threes as juicy as Mikal Bridges last night?
No,
That wasn't 186, minus 186.
Actually, no, it was less. I think it was like minus 165 or something like that.
Right.
So
just like to call out my pick last night: 4 threes plus 500. I hope some of you listening played that one. That was a real nice one last night.
Yeah, it's weird because that's not his traditional game, right?
No,
but he certainly was.
Matchup was popping. Yeah, I like Porter's been so hot. I think this is a matchup wise. I mean, nothing screaming off the board, but I think just playing there's the players' individual trends is sometimes also good. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and the prior performance against Chicago, lit him up for 31. So okay, cool. Anybody on the Bulls side?
On the Bulls side, no.
Yeah, I didn't have anybody there either.
The only one I would point out, combo guards averaging 2 steals per game since the beginning of February. So I think Patrick Beverley to have 1 steal tonight is a nice little spot. Usually he would be higher, like 1.5, but he's just a half a steal tonight. It's probably very juicy, but good spot for him.
Yeah, but consider putting it with something else, right?
Yeah, yep.
Michael Porter for 2 threes and Pat Bev for a steal. And you're all set.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We got the Thunder at the Suns next. SGA is out of this game, I believe. Jalen Williams is also out, so I'm not really sure. Maybe Giddey is the offense for the Thunder tonight. And the Suns pretty much have everybody. Suns are minus 13.5 at home. Totals 233.5.
All right. What did I have here? So against OKC, forward/power forward has been a great matchup since this. This is pretty crazy. Since mid-December, averaging 20.2 points per game. Since the beginning of February, averaging 20.3 points per game. So just super consistently, this position is a great place to target OKC. Rebounds also 7.5 since December, 7.9 since the beginning of February. Unfortunately, there's nobody that fits into that category. But who did I like here? Go back to your shot creators. So Phoenix has 2 shot creators now.
2 pretty good ones.
Yeah. I think I like both of them in this game. They're averaging, shot creators are averaging since the beginning of February 32.4 points per game and 3.6 made threes per game. So I like Durant to have 2 threes. It's minus 150. He's done in all 3 games since he joined the Suns. So I like that, especially at the shot creators averaging over 3.5. I like his points, 25.5, minus 135. Just playing the matchup here. There's hard, you don't have historical stuff to look at. And Booker, also 26.5 points, minus 115. His last 3 games, 36, 35, 37.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only risk is this game over at like halftime.
That could be.
I mean, Jalen Williams was kind of propping this team up while SGA was out, but I'm not
I got
really
a sneaky pick coming up in 1 second for you on that side.
I like those 2 guys as well, but I took a different angle. I like Booker's assists.
Yes.
Yeah, was that your?
That was my next one coming up here. Yeah.
9, 8, 8, 7, 6, and 10. Those are
6
his
straight.
last 6 games. 5.5 assists. It seems like he's going to get there, even if he plays 3 quarters.
Yeah. Since the beginning of February, wing slash shooting guards, averaging 5.3 assists per game. Great spot for him.
Yeah. I also kind of like Durant's rebounds. It's a little high at 6.5 rebounds, but I forgot to write down the history. But he's been rebounding pretty well the last 2 games since he's playing 30 plus minutes. So
yeah, I like that. I mean, you could look at. I mean, he's the power forward. You could look at that. 7.9 rebounds per game.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and against this Thunder team who doesn't rebound particularly well, I think it's a good play. So.
Yeah. All right, moving to the OKC side. All right, so you got SGA out, you got Jalen Williams out. So who can we look at here? I got one guy. Hold on, I'm just pulling. Where is this OKC? Okay, there's a nice gentleman on OKC named Lindy Waters III. Okay, this is a fun one. All right, somebody's got to play for OKC, right? Maybe. So the reason I'm on this is he is classified as an off-screen shooter. Not a lot of these guys. You're the 2 biggest guys at this in this categorization are Klay Thompson and Bojan Bogdanovic. But Lindy Waters is an off-screen shooter, averaging 26 points per game against Phoenix going back to mid-December. Okay? He's also classified as a chase defender. They are averaging 21 points per game against Phoenix going back to mid-December. So obviously we would never play this otherwise, but the fact that you have like 2 of the higher usage guys and SGA obviously sitting this game out and you have a good matchup, I think we take a shot on Lindy Waters if lines for him even come out today.
Yeah, I mean he played 6 minutes against Golden State and 1 minute against Utah. So I don't know.
I don't think there'll be lines for him.
But I do like that. If the lines do come out, they're going to be like 3.5 points or something.
Yes, so just jump all over that.
But the game before against the Lakers, he played 18 minutes and had 8 points. So
okay,
and managed to have four personal fouls
in how long? 18 minutes.
Yeah.
But more like realistically speaking, I think Isaiah Joe is probably a good place to look in this game. He's classified as a movement shooter, averaging 19 points per game against Phoenix since mid-December. So that's probably your safer bet there.
We're gonna have to get a cut on Isaiah Joe's next contract for.
I know
for promoting him on this show a lot. So.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, somebody's got to score.
Yeah.
They're gonna put up, over 100 points in this game. So.
Yeah. All right.
Anybody else?
That's it.
Any other obscure players we've never heard of?
Lindy Waters the third.
All
right. Last game.
Yeah, last game we got the Raptors at the Clippers. Clippers are -3. What's his name? Norman Powell is out of this game. Total is 229.5.
229.5. I'll tell you, no game tonight had more matchups popping on the board than this game on both sides. So I think you can read into that. It's got a high total. I think there's probably many good plays from this game tonight, more than we're going to point out right now. It just seems like guys are having monster games against both these teams.
Right.
So what does that mean? I think one place we can look, secondary ball handlers against Toronto is a place we can look with Norman Powell out. The only other guy classified as a secondary ball handler for the Clippers is Eric Gordon. So points and assists, I think you can look at him. If some lines come out for him later. The next one I liked here, shot creators averaging 7.5 rebounds per game. So that's Kawhi and PG. So I think you can look at both those guys. I think Kawhi's rebounds, it's 6.5. I don't have an official play here, but I think at home, he's got some nice splits. So that's something I would look at as well. Where is the other one? Sorry. Here. Bigs. So especially since beginning of February, look at all these matchups popping. Rolling cut bigs, 16 points per game. Stretch bigs, 20 points per game, 4.8 assists per game. Mobile bigs, 17.8 points per game, 2 made threes per game. Big centers, 19.3 points per game. Big power forwards, 19.5 points per game. So who do you think I went with? Ivica Zubac.
Yep, that was actually my favorite play of the day.
8.5 points?
You know what? I debated between his points and his rebounds.
Yeah, they're both good. Yeah.
They're both really good. I went with the rebounds just because look at the last, was it 6 centers against the Raptors. Jokic had 13, Drummond 10, Allen had 11, Mobley 9, Wiseman 10, Jovel 12.
Wow.
So, and there's some concern as well about Plumlee eating into his minutes, but he's still averaging 28 minutes in the last in the last last 5 games. So
yeah,
rebounds were over 7.5. I think that's a steal. His points were what, over
8.5.
8.5.
He's done in 7 of 10, 6 of 8 at home. This just really what was that? Play both, I think. Yeah, I think so too. Since the beginning of February, every single big categorization was a top 3 matchup against Toronto. So I think you have to go there. It's a great play today.
Yeah. He also had 16 rebounds against Toronto last time they played.
Wow. Nice.
So, and I don't remember what his points were, but yeah, they're both good plays.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. All right. Anything else on the Clippers side?
No, I had one play on the Raptors side.
All right. I like this one on the Raptors side here. Tell me it's Freddie assists.
I had Freddie, but I went a different direction. I did like Freddie assists. They're just getting up there. What was it, 7.5?
7.5 minus 140.
But it's still a good play, I think.
Yeah. So the reason I liked it, primary ball handlers since December, averaging 6.9 assists per game. Since beginning of February, primary ball handlers averaging 8.1 assists per game against the Clippers. You can go further back. Point guards, 7.8 assists per game since December, 8.6 assists per game since beginning of February. Nice. Point of attack defenders, 4.9 assists per game since February. So it's popping across the board. He's done it in 6 straight, last 7 of 9 on the road. Let's ride with FVV today.
Yeah, I love that. I also like his steals. I typically don't like to play over 1 steal, but 1.5 steals. He's done this in 6 of his last 8, and the Clippers are atrocious at handling the ball. So I think that's good. If you're nervous about either of those, put them together, right?
Yeah.
Put a little parlay together. 1 steal, 5-6 assists, something like that. You'll probably get plus 100. It'll be nice.
Yeah, to further drive home your play there, which I like very much. I looked at it as well. Point guards since the beginning of February, averaging 3 steals per game against the Clippers when they play 25 plus minutes.
The Clippers give up like almost 10 steals a game. It's crazy.
Yeah, point of attack defenders, 1.8 steals per game since the beginning of February. So I love Freddie here.
Yeah, he's finally playing again like the Freddie of old. So
yes.
Nice.
All right. Got one other here. Jakob Poeltl, points. I liked it because against the Clippers, big / centers, averaging 18.9 points per game since December. And also 18.9 points per game since exactly the same average since the beginning of February as the middle of December. He's done it in 4 straight games since coming back over to Toronto. So yeah, I think Poeltl over 13. Huh?
12.5 or
13.5 minus 110. Nice. Yeah, I think that's a great spot for him here. You also have nice shot creators, which is Siakam and Barnes, but more so Siakam. 26.5 points and 7 rebounds per game since December, 28.6 points per game since February. So I didn't land on anything for Siakam, but he's in a great spot here.
Yeah, his recent trend on scoring, he went from really hot to really cold.
Yeah.
So I laid off of that, but yeah, he
the
definitely is
matchup's
in a good spot for points. His assists actually looked pretty good too. I think it was like 4.5 or something like that. So, but yeah, I think these are all great plays. I think
All right, we got
choose
some nice
whatever you
ones
like
today.
out of those. Good.
All right. Well done. And we'll I don't know if we're gonna do something new up on Twitter today. We'll see. Stay tuned, right?
Yeah, I think we're gonna put some more focus more on the deep dives like that we put up there, just because it helps explain the plays a bit more. So we'll get a couple of these up there that are our favorites, and we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good. Nice work,
Okay.
Dave. Bye.
Yep. Enjoy the games.
You too.